All right.
We live.
Hey, we live. All right. Welcome everyone to the B-Side Podcast. It's a podcast where we spotlight the vibe creators, the unsung heroes that turn a regular night out into an unforgettable night. Wow. And today we have, on the first episode ever, the blueprint herself. Someone who I've admired for a very, very long time. And I personally wanted her to be my first guest literally because of her, I can. Lissa Monet.
You're making my hands sweat. Thank you.
Literally remember Mood Music. I'm aging myself.
Oh, wow.
Yes. I think it was year one, university.
Probably.
In my business casual outfit.
Oh.
On the Mood Music. And I'm like, just vibing. And I'm like, is that a woman behind the decks killing it? I'm like, oh, okay. And then I don't know if you remember this, but I tweeted you one time when I was trying to learn how to DJ. And I'm like, can you teach me how to DJ? And you politely said, I can't, girl, but here's the school. I think it was Scratch.
Oh, Scratch Lab or something.
Like, here's the link. Go sign up for classes.
I was busy. Sorry.
No, I didn't take offense to it. It was just funny.
And I'm also not a good teacher. Like, I can't teach. I'll be like, yeah, the 8 bar and the 4 bar. And people are looking at me like, what?
I find that too. I think teaching is a craft. I feel like I'm not a good teacher either. So I'm always shy when people say, oh, teach me how to DJ. I'm like, YouTube University.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyways, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm okay.
I'm starstruck.
Why are you
like
starstruck?
You know that was that thing that Wizkid says, my music travels no visa.
Yeah.
So it's like you hear of the person or you hear of their stuff, but you never ever see them.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like my introduction to like Lissa.
Yeah.
I have a very funny story. You don't know this. I don't even think you know this, but a wedding I did, you referred me to the client.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
amazing.
A long time ago. And that's how I was just like, yeah, that's how I just like, you know, I don't think we've ever met. I think you probably saw me at a wedding or something, or maybe someone referred you to me.
Uh-huh.
So someone referred me to you and then you referred me to whoever the client was. But that's how I got a wedding. And that's how I was like, that's how I got put onto you. And appreciate it. I never got to say thank you. So thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That's dope.
Yeah. But how you doing?
I'm good. You know, back in this wretched city called Toronto.
We'll get to that. Wretched.
Just wretched.
All right. But first, we want to just talk a little bit about how you started off. You've been in this game for what? I'm going to say like 20 plus years.
Oh, God. Yeah. Long time.
Yeah. A long, long time. And you're still in the game. You're still killing it. You have one of the hottest parties, that Slow Jam party.
Yeah.
It is going to Dubai.
Yeah. Bermuda.
You've done Detroit.
Yeah. So, I mean, parties.
You've worked with Beyonce.
I've done work. I worked for Beyonce.
You've worked with
Okay.
Beyonce.
Right.
Did she pop in at one point?
She did.
She popped her head in and who's that behind the desk?
Smelled like money. Awesome.
See, and then you're still here, so humble. Because if Beyonce popped her head into my set, listen,
nobody can talk to you. Nobody could talk to you.
I mean, already some people can't talk to you.
Ever. No, like Beyonce popping her head in my. Oof, it's not. It's over for you guys.
I mean, how I got started, I kind of just, started going out at a really young age, and I started back in the day. DJs would always, I guess, fraternize, I guess is the word, after the club. So after the club, DJs would always just kind of like chit chat and talk about like new vinyl releases, like what albums were coming out, what singles were coming out, who was producing them and stuff like that. And, they'd get into like these really in-depth conversations I like to call them liner note conversations where we would talk about like who produced what and, you know, who's collaborating with who. And I would sometimes get involved in those conversations because music has just always been a part of...
This was before you started DJing?
Yeah, this was before I started DJing. And so basically, Captain Kirk from Four Corners, who's now the Raptors DJ,
yes.
Was like, you know a lot about music. I'm going to teach you how to DJ. Yes. And I was like, and so I would just kind of like go to his house, like, you know, whenever I had like, you know, a spare in like high school, I would just go and like, just kind of, he'd teach me how like the basics of like mixing and blending and stuff. And then I started to like it a little. And then when I got comfortable, I just bought my own set. And then I was a basement DJ for like a good year. And, you know, and I had my my shelves with all my vinyl, and they were all like organized according
so you were
to
doing
like
vinyls.
Yeah. I started way before Serato, way before. Yeah.
So you were logging crates around.
Yep. I went to IKEA and I bought these like cute little plastic like and colored crates.
The guns.
Huh?
Hence the guns.
Oh, girl. But, you know, and I would carry these crates to the club and stuff, and they'd always mash up on me, but whatever. I was trying to be cute. So basically, like a year after being a basement DJ, Kirk reaches out to me again, and he's like, oh, I got a weekly gig at this spot. It's across the street from your house, so you don't have to travel. I want you to open for me. So I was like, okay, fine, cool.
What was the name of the spot?
It was called Sandoz in Scarborough. It's like Markham and Shepherd. Big up Melbourne, yeah. And that was like the spot on a Thursday night. You know, everybody came out. Like Lindo P, I think Cardi even came out. Like it was just like one of those like not underground, but it was one of those like Thursday night spots where like, you know, it was in the neighborhood. It was in the hood. Like you just show up, whatever. And every Thursday I would open for Kirk, and like, you know, that's how I got used to DJing in the club, because DJing in the basement and DJing in the club are two different places.
Yes.
Two different things. And I just remember like putting like the vinyl on the turntable and like trying and lifting the needle, and like my hands would be like shaking because I'm like so scared.
Do you remember the first ever song you played there?
No, I don't remember the first ever song, but I just remember like organizing my crates every Wednesday night or like Thursday in the day, and like making sure that I had like the right songs for the right amount of time that I was like DJing. Like now it's so different. You just walk with your laptop.
Yeah.
You know, you play whatever, whenever you feel like it. But yeah, like I don't remember the first song.
Yeah. So like, I'm going to ask a very, very like layman question, because I'm not a DJ. So when you say crates, are you saying like, if you're playing 30 songs, is that like 30 vinyls, or is it like, really?
Or sometimes like some vinyls might have like one vinyl might have like 4 songs on it. So it would have like the main single, and then it would have like 2 B-sides on the other side, and then it would have like an instrumental and an a cappella for the single.
All by the same artist, or?
Yeah, some of them all by the same artist. And then they started eventually making vinyl where it would have like what they would do now, like with edits. So they would have like these, you know, edits that would have like an extended intro, and like you'd buy those separately, and it would have the like.
So you guys have been in the club playing maybe for whatever reason Whitney Houston, and you'd play like all Whitney Houston tracks and then switch over to the next artist.
Say that again?
If you're playing, so when you're in the club and you're playing all Whitney Houston.
Yeah.
And so you put on the one vinyl.
Yeah.
And it's Whitney Houston. So you're playing all Whitney Houston.
No. You play one song.
Okay.
Switch over.
And then you switch over. Yeah.
Still have 2 decks.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Like you wouldn't just play the whole album from start to finish.
Okay.
Like you would
I would.
Do you find that in the vinyl era, people were more, like the audience was more, I guess.
You had to be patient.
Yeah. I want to say they were more willing to like listen to music. They weren't coming to just hear like the popular songs, kind of like now.
No, I think it's a little bit, it was the same. I think in that time, people, there was a lot less things, right? Like we didn't have streaming, we didn't have iTunes, so it was like whatever the DJ played, that like, and if you didn't know it, that was like the new song that you discovered at that party. Of course, obviously people wanted to go to the club to hear the songs that they knew that would make them dance and stuff like that. But, you know, people were more reliant on the DJ
to put them on.
To put them on to like music.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
Now it's the opposite, man.
Yeah.
What's that app that they use to tell you what song that play this
Shazam?
artist? No. It's just like big app. It's like a text thing.
Oh,
You
I
just-
don't. Yeah, and they like, and they put it on their like forehead.
Right,
Like,
and now it's so advanced now. It blinks like it's got flashing lights.
Wow.
Like, the police. Like I saw the one yesterday.
Oh,
like,
really? Someone was doing that?
It's blinking. I'm like,
I
don't do that.
I instinctly ignore those.
Yeah.
How?
I just don't look up.
I see like people who like DJs who make fun and say like, oh, email transfer me this amount, and then I'll play your request.
I feel like that's a serious request.
You know what was funny? Shout out to Stephanie. She was DJing at the Blue Jays game, and she texted me that someone texted her and said, "Hey, Steph, I know you're DJing at the Blue Jays game. I'm here. Do you mind playing this song?" And I was like, "What?"
Wow.
I think it was a DM actually, which is wild. I'm like, "What?"
That's crazy.
If it was your friend, would you play it though?
It all depends on the song.
Yeah, it depends on
the
the song.
Okay.
Yeah.
like
Yes.
you can't just come. I remember when there's like pivotal moments in like moments, I guess, whatever, where I can remember where things like just started to take a really either good turn or a bad turn. And I remember when iTunes kind of first came out and I was DJing, I had a residency at a club on King West, and you know, people used to come up to me and like ask for some, like, I'd be playing, let's say for example, I'd be playing like house music, and someone would come and be like, "Oh, can you play like the new Miley Cyrus?" And I'm like, I'm playing house music right now.
She doesn't
like,
even go here.
yeah, like it's weird, you know, and it's like, I get it. Not everybody's like musically in tune and inclined or whatever. So it's like, I get it. So, you know, you had to change the way that you like communicated with people and been like, okay, well, I'll give me 10 minutes or like, I'll play it in like the next hour. Like I'm playing house music right now. But then you had to do it in a way that like, you had to explain it so people can get it right away, because you can't be having like a whole 10-minute conversation trying to explain like BPMs and like, I'm playing in this BPM right now. Like, you know, Miley Cyrus is 98 BPM, and like, you just can't have that conversation.
I literally just say, okay.
Right. But at the beginning, it was like trying to get a way to like get people to understand. And maybe that was just my bad. Maybe it was like, why do I care so much that I need people to understand? So it just got to the point where
it's not a bad thing.
It got to a point where I was asking people, is this a personal request? Or is this something that you think that the whole club would enjoy?
Or will it just be you on the dance floor?
Or would it just be you on the dance floor?
Having a good time.
And me like a fool playing your one tune.
And everyone's like,
what is this?
what is this?
Yeah.
What is this? Okay.
So
Let's talk about your name. A little birdie told me that the same person who taught you how to DJ. So when did you transition from DJ Navigate to Lissa Monet?
I mean, I think
what was the reason behind Navigate? When I heard that, I'm like, what? That was the OG name?
that was the OG name.
Why Navigate?
I guess
Like,
navigate you through the music. It was so lame. But
It
you
would have
know,
been sick if it was like DJ Navigate and you drove like a Lincoln Navigator.
Navigator, you know. But that was not the case. I was still.
How did you come up with that name?
TTC. I think that was the reason why I wanted to navigate people through the music, you know.
Okay.
I also came from a marketing background. I went to school for marketing.
Yeah.
So I thought that would be like a catchy name. And then I eventually like, it just wasn't hitting for me. Like I just didn't like it. And then I just.
How did you spell it? Like actual Navigate?
Yeah, actual Navigate. Okay. Yeah, no, not with numbers or anything like that. Yeah,
upside down.
I didn't get that creative. But yeah, it was just, you know,
Right.
and then I just kind of phased out of that. It just wasn't. I started seeing like.
How long did you go by that name for?
Wasn't that long, maybe like 3 years
Okay.
or so. I can't remember. But like, yeah. And then I just started seeing like other DJs using like actual names as DJ, as their DJ names. And I was like, Lissa Monet sounds cool. maybe if I can't navigate them, I could paint a picture with the music.
I like that.
I like that.
And it became a staple.
And it became a staple.
Great.
I stuck with it.
Yeah. So let's talk about Luxe Life.
Oh, Luxe Life Sound. Yes. Luxe Life Sound. Oh, goodness. Luxe Life Sound just kind of started from a place where I was just tired of the nightclub scene. I was like probably 15 years in, and I just felt like I was outgrowing it, and I wanted to go to bed early, and I wanted to, just kind of live a normal life.
So the phase I'm in now.
And so I started like navigating the corporate space, which was amazing. Corporate. I think corporate events is like my pocket. You play what you play what you want. You can be a little bit more creative.
Pay is great.
Yeah, pay is great. They pay on time.
And I think they actually treat you like an artist.
Yeah. Like some clients will ask you for like a rider. Yeah, they'll ask you.
I'm curious, what's in your rider?
What I don't Red Bull. Like it's just nothing.
Yeah.
I don't ask for like, red M&Ms, or I'm not like Mariah Carey or
red only.
Yeah, or like sour keys or whatever. But like, yeah, like my rider's just water and Red Bull. And then like, sometimes they'll like come and they'll ask you, do you want something to eat?
Yeah.
You want like some of the snacks? Like, yeah. But yeah, so I was doing that for a while, and then that started getting hectic, and I was like double and triple booking myself. And I just started, I don't want to say giving away the gigs, but I started seeing other female DJs on the come up, and I would just be like, I just message people and be like, hey, like I've got this gig, I can't do it. Are you free?
Yeah.
And then I was like, hey, I can make some money doing this. And so I partnered with Cleo. And we started Luxe Life Sound, just a avenue to just basically get female DJs positioned at corporate events, and get them paid, not what I was getting paid when I first started.
Yeah. So why was it important for you to focus solely on female DJs? I love that, by the way. I think it is a very important thing. I think that it is great experience because I've worked with Luxe Life as well, and I've gotten to get those experiences that I don't think I would be able to kind of get by myself and spotlight myself. So for you, why did you think it was more important to just solely focus on women?
A few reasons. Just simply because DJing is and still is, and may not be in the next maybe 5 years, a male-dominated industry.
Yes, yeah.
And usually when corporate clients hire DJs, their first choice is a male DJ. I also noticed too that there was a huge market for beauty and beauty events that a lot of PR companies were doing, and I felt like it would only make sense to hire a female DJ for those events. It would be weird hiring a male DJ at the time. I mean, now it's a lot different, but like, hiring like a male for
makeup forever.
Yeah, or mascara.
They don't know it
brand or whatever. Yeah. Now it's different. Everybody's, welcome in all spaces. But at the time, I just thought it would be a really good idea to just push female DJs, because I never had that, opportunity right off the bat to like do corporate. Yeah. I kind of had to do clubs for a really long time before I made a name for myself, and corporate companies would, obviously take notice of who I was. Yeah. So yeah, I kind of wanted to kind of just, push that forward for female DJs a lot quicker than I had that opportunity.
And then create another lane for yourself with starting an agency, I think is amazing. It adds to your longevity.
Yeah, it's definitely a retirement plan for me.
Which is like, you've been doing this for 20 plus years.
Yeah.
How have you been able to maintain being, because you see a lot of DJs come and go, and you don't even realize when they go. Really, you notice when they're hot, but they kind of just
fizzle out. Yeah. Or they're holding on for dear life. Yeah. They just don't know when to let go.
Shots fired. But
I'm old now, eh? Remember I told you.
You said, talk your shit. Talk your shit. Like, how have you been able to do that? Because that's something like I don't know if I'm struggling with it in the sense where I don't feel like I'm fizzling out. Never. But I just want to figure out how to navigate this period that I am in my life. I'm getting older. I'm in my mid-30s.
Yeah.
Right?
I think it's a lot harder now because the market is so saturated.
Yeah.
And that's nothing that we can like get away from.
Mm-hmm.
You know, for me, it was just really simple. Just do good business with people. I think the easier you are to work with, the faster you are to get rehired.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't come with a whole bunch of like requests and rider requests and stuff like that, like, you know, if you're not a headache to the client, they'll hire you. I feel like it's just easy. They'll just hire you again.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, she was so easy to work with. Like she knew what to do. She came, she blah, 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 whatever. So I feel like that's probably like the number one rule to just kind of staying in the game.
Makes sense. Do you lean more towards like what the crowd wants?
Always.
Or okay.
Always.
I see a lot of
it's hard now, but always.
I feel like a lot of DJs, I don't want to say a lot. I'm trying to get canceled. Some DJs are just playing. And like if you go out to the crowd, nobody's really dancing.
Yeah.
I feel like it's losing its art of like you said, you're here to provide a service and make people have a good night.
It's so many different elements. It's so many different things, right? It's like when you go on, the time of, you know, around the time
opener
versus the prime time person, like, you know, and that's the other thing that really irritates me too. Sometimes it's like, you know, DJs also have to understand that there's a time and a place for a song. Yeah. And there's so many songs out there that one particular song doesn't need to get played 5 times at a club.
Word.
You know? And it's like, and it's also up to the people who attend the parties to know that, okay, if I want to hear a certain, like a particular type of song, or if I want to hear my favorite songs, I'm going to have to come at a certain time. Or if I want to hear songs that I've never heard before or new songs or whatever, I'll come a little early because like, you know.
It's on the B side of the B.
Yeah, right? So it's like, you know, DJs also have to understand too that like when a promoter puts together their set times, it's like you need to know what to play within that set time. Like don't come and try to play, you know, the big tunes or, you know, the most popular songs during your set time when there's literally 3 or 4 people there. I mean, I guess it's okay if there's only 3 or 4 people there. I saw
someone post another DJ say that on Threads and people were just like attacking him.
Really?
And because he said something about opener DJs need to know that basically what you're saying, don't play all the big songs. Like you're not the headliner.
I know, but see, that's also delivery.
Yeah.
Like you can't come out and be like, oh, well, opener DJs, you need to know your place. You know, blah, blah, blah. It's just, there's a flow to a party, right? There's a way a party flows and it's just tried and true. It's never gone wrong in any situation, right?
So coming in as just like on the side, when is this is when it's like we're supposed to like go crazy from? Like what time are we looking at?
It's not a specific time. It's just like as a DJ too, you also have to know the vibe. Like you also have to know like when, you know, like when the place is packed and everybody's on the dance floor and like everybody at some point in time is vibing out. That's when you like keep them. The goal is to keep them on the dance floor at all times. Like you never want to see pockets of people just standing around like looking at their phones. Oh, that's what they do. But, you know, it's like, there's just a specific time. And then it's like, you know, when you compound that with like a really good MC and then like, you know, you've just got a really good vibe and you've got a really good party, you know, I mean, if you're a new DJ and you're
got something to prove.
Yeah, that too. And you've got something like I had to work really hard to get primetime gigs. I was so happy doing early out sets.
Yeah.
Like I loved playing early out sets because number
Those
one,
are
I
one of
didn't.
my favorite.
Yeah, I didn't feel I was ready to do primetime, and two, like I just loved playing new music. I love playing songs that people.
Why did you feel like you weren't ready?
I mean, it was really early in the game for me. Like I just felt like, and then there were other DJs who I felt deserved to be in that place.
Yeah.
How I managed to like get myself in that position was by mistake. I think some DJ just didn't show up or didn't show up on time, and I was forced to have to play prime time. And I just kind of like, and that's how, and then everybody was like, oh my God, you're wicked. And I'm like, I've been wicked. I've just been playing early outs. Yeah. It's like, you know, I like when I go to these clubs, I'm also a student of the game. So I'm also looking at what DJs are playing, you know, during those times. So that way, like if I were ever in a situation, I would be prepared and I would know what to play in that time frame.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. No, you make a valid point. But my other question for you is, so being that you can have like, maybe you have a party, you have 4 DJs, right? Mm-hmm. Should the other DJs come like just before their set, or should they come just like beginning of the party? Because I run into this issue where a DJ will show up and the DJ has played all these songs, and because the DJ wasn't there, he's now having to like play the same songs. And like I don't find myself as the MC, I find myself saying, oh no, they played that
already. Yeah.
Oh, they played that already. And it's like, okay, where do we go from here?
Yeah. Like it's not just show up and I get it. It's a party and everybody's drinking and it's free and, you know, it's a free up thing and whatever. But like as a DJ, you still have a job to do. So I really try to show up 2 sets before mine. I try.
I like that.
I try.
But traffic.
Yeah, exactly.
Traffic life, you
in
know.
this wretched place called Toronto. But I really try to show up like either 2 sets before, just so I can get an idea as to like what the DJ before me played, and so I don't play the exact same songs, because a lot of the people who've been there were there before I was and will be there after me. Yeah. So it's like, you know, you just want to be, you want to be considerate of the people that you are hired to play for.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Because you're not the star.
Yeah. So I want to switch gears a little bit and talk about, you recently had it wasn't like a rap, but you said something that I really, really related to.
What did I say, girl?
On Twitter or whatever they call it now.
X.
You said every summer I come back to Toronto. And it's the same people doing the same thing.
Not verbatim, girl.
There's no creativity.
I didn't say there wasn't any creativity.
Did you say there wasn't?
I basically said.
You said every summer
I come back
to Toronto, and it's the same people doing the same thing.
Yes, which is there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
but nobody's being put in opportunities to expand on that.
Yes.
And nobody's being put in, like, nobody's given opportunities to level up.
Yeah.
With the things that are doing.
You weren't saying, I didn't take it as you were saying that the promoters aren't being creative or the DJs aren't being creative.
Yeah, because then I'd be talking about myself.
Yeah. You were saying that we don't have the opportunities. We don't have space in the city.
Yeah.
Like post-pandemic, I can count all the venues that have gone. Right. Phoenix is going.
Yep.
Everywhere is being turned into a condo.
Yeah, exactly.
I saw the other day that a church, they're building a condo on top of a church.
Wow.
So, like, I feel like the only 2 venues, a good medium-sized venue right now in the city is Access and Revival. And that just got bought by...
Yeah, they got bought out.
Yeah. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, it's like slim pickings out here. And I wasn't even just talking about promoters. I was talking about people in like the industry who are doing amazing work in the city, who deserve to be amplified and who deserve to be put in spaces and in rooms where they can contribute to the culture in a more positive and a broader way, right? Like I think my frustration with Toronto is that, you know, we talk about diversity and inclusion, and I feel like it's very performative. I feel like it's just for whatever whatever they're trying to serve at the time.
Yeah.
And then when they've served that purpose at the time, it's like, okay, well, yeah, that's all out the window.
Yeah.
You know, like, let's focus on the next thing and let's focus on the next thing.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, so when I come back every summer, it's like I'm seeing people who are doing amazing things.
Yeah.
Still doing amazing things.
Yeah.
But not doing amazing things
at the level
that they could be
because
doing.
they don't have the resources.
Let's be real. If they were in the States, they'd be doing amazing things and making an amazing bag.
Facts.
Right? So it's like, why are things so, I don't know, like, why are things so boxed in here?
What do you think has to change?
I don't know, child. To be honest, I don't know.
One of the things someone said, and I like the way you put it, they said something about gatekeepers and people wanting to work with the same people.
Right.
And I loved your answer because you said you get it, but it's not that people just want to work with the same people. Is you find people that you trust and you work well with
them.
Why not continue that relationship?
Right.
Like, speaking from experience myself, like, there are certain people that I've worked with that I will never work with again.
And you needed that experience to realize that.
But I'll always give a person at least one opportunity for us to collaborate.
Of course.
But when you find what works, why not? Just like, and everyone knows what they're doing. Listen, and they bring something to the table.
Braun did it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand why it's a big deal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, you just have to find your tribe and understand what your strengths and your weaknesses are. Like, I know that I don't enjoy talking to club owners, you know, for various reasons. I'm a Black woman, you know, all those things. So it's like, there's someone on my team who has amazing relationships. Shout out Tim.
Shout out to Timber.
Who has amazing relationships with club owners. And I just leave that for him to do.
Yeah.
You just have to know your strengths and you have to know your weaknesses. You know, in the same vein, Toronto is, you know, I've heard things like Toronto is not a collaborative city. You know, we need to collaborate more.
But in what way? Like, do they mean like other, like, okay, you're doing that slow jam party. Should you be collaborating with someone like a Charlie B who also does an R&B party? Is that
no, that's like direct competition. Yeah. Well, not direct. I don't know. It came out of my mouth. Maybe it is. But it's an R&B party, right? I have an R&B party. He has an R&B party. Why would we be collaborating? Yeah. But at the same time,
maybe like if it's something for like a bigger event.
Yeah, like if it's like a festival, like let's say the city wanted to do an R&B festival, you know, then that would make sense because it would, you know, it would make sense for us to collaborate and bring our resources together for the greater good of the city. But yeah, I mean, like, I think it's just a situation where it's like, you have to know yourself and know what you're capable of and know what you're not capable of. And then find the people that can make your strength, your weaknesses stronger and like, you know, and then can like expand on your strengths. Yes. You know, it's everybody gatekeeps, everybody, you know, and because the city is also we're not California. We don't have hundreds of millions of people living here. So we're all
fighting for the same
audience, same demographic. Yeah. Like, and we also have to realize that too. So it's like, and we also have to, when I say collaborative too, I mean collaborative in the sense that going back to the whole Charlie Brown thing, right? If in a perfect world, I should be able to call Charlie Brown and be like, here, these are my dates for Slow Jam Party for the year. Yeah. Right. So that way we aren't overlapping. Yeah. And that way there isn't an I Love R&B on the same night as Slow Jam Party. Yeah. And then that way he could plan his year accordingly. Yeah. That's what I mean by like collaborative. And that, in that sense.
I don't know why we don't do that more often.
I don't know.
I feel like
either.
we should be doing that
because
we do it and then they'll be like, you know what, I changed my mind.
Well, I mean, there's also other things, other elements to it too, right? Clubs change, you know, clubs want you to change dates, like all that stuff. But I think if we were all more just
a text away type of
Yeah, it's just a text away. It's like, hey, like, what's your year looking like? Like, we're thinking about doing it this. Like, we don't want to step on any toes, you know? Like, I think it would make life easier for us as the promoter, the event curator, and easier for the people who actually go to these parties, because
you don't have to pick and choose.
Yeah, everybody's picking and choosing and like having to decide like, oh, I went to this the last time.
I like that idea actually.
Yeah,
like,
so
I really like it.
Same thing with DJs talking about pay.
I agree. Because I don't know why I've hit you up sometimes. I don't think it's.
It is tricky because
I think we make it tricky.
There was a lady who was talking about how much she got paid for something online. She was just trying to do the same thing, just let people know this is how much you could be charging. I don't know if it's something, again, maybe just the wrong platform. It just turned into like her showing off. That's what they made it to seem like.
That's just.
So she's like, I'm here trying to tell people, and this is kind of information you need. But she's like, why? Like, it's kind of like, well, now you're showing off.
I think within colleagues, like if you guys are in the same field, like with another MC, if another MC was to come up to you, or like another MC that's your friend, and say, oh, like I have this wedding, it's this many hours, how much should I charge for this? Right. You should be able to say, this is how much I should charge without like feeling a way about it. And I just feel like DJs should like, because there's, I don't know, it's weird when I hear, you know, DJs reach out to me and say like, yeah, like, you know, I'm doing this gig, but they're only charging me $300. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, in big 2024, they're still charging you, they're still paying you $300 for a gig, and you got to be there for 5 hours, and they're probably not going to offer you a glass of water. And then they want you to post the flyer.
And then they want you to post the flyer. They want you to do this. They want you to do that.
Now they want you to do a collaborative post.
Yeah, it's like this is crazy. Like, and I get
people
it.
Have bills to pay too.
Some people do it because they want the exposure and they want the opportunity. But so that's the catch-22, right? It's like,
but at what point in your career should you then start asking for, like, if you start off as a new DJ, right? And you just want the experience, so you're willing to take like $150.
Yeah.
Right. And I feel like you're kind of setting a precedent, except if you work well with that promoter where like they're willing to grow with you.
Right. Yeah.
Because at what point, when you've done all the parties and now they're trying to book you again, how do you renegotiate?
To be fair, it's very hard for a promoter to say,
I want more.
Yeah. Or it's very hard for a promoter. Like if you don't approach the promoter and say, listen, you know, we've been working together for 3 years, you know, can you up that?
Yeah.
You know, a promoter wouldn't, you know, 9 times out of 10, they wouldn't like,
they're thinking about like,
it's like, this is my budget. This is how much I've allocated for my DJ. Yeah. And if you are now outside of that, I got to now find another DJ who could fill that.
Yeah.
Right.
And chances that they are.
Exactly.
And then you lose that spot.
Yeah. And I think that's just the way the cookie crumbles. And we have to just kind of be mindful of that and not take it personally and not try to like start wars with people and, you know, get all subliminal on Twitter. It's like, that's just the way it is, right? Like promoters have their budgets and this is how much they have.
Yeah.
And I know if a lot of promoters could do more, they could do more. But they can't, given the fact that we don't have venues that will allow us to bring in more people so that way we can make more money, so that way we can pay more DJs and more MCs.
Now it's getting harder because you do events too. So, you know, like now it's getting harder to find spaces.
Right.
Back in the day, I feel like there are a few spaces you could kind of get for free and you just hit the bar minimum. But now you have to actually pay for the venue plus hit the bar minimum. So that adds a difference. That adds additional to your bottom line.
Exactly.
Right?
I think people just need to understand that there's all these little intricacies and like compounding factors that go into that are so beyond, you know, the promoter's control. But at the same time, 1 + 1 is 2 and 5 + 5 is 10. And if you're in a club that holds 2,200 people and the promoter is still paying you 400, you know how much that promoter is taking home.
Yeah.
Sure. So it's up to you to decide whether you're going to be happy with that or whether you are comfortable enough to reach out to that promoter and say, hey, listen, I'd like a raise.
Yeah.
I'm doing the work, whatever. So it's really up to you as the person or as a DJ. So, I mean, And then there's just leave.
Yeah.
You know, if you feel like you have done all you can do in the city and you've done every party and like you're not happy at the rate and you can't seem to like fight to get, you know, a higher rate, then explore your options in other places.
Is that why you moved to Ghana?
Not really, but
Because
not really.
I felt like Ghana was like a random choice when I saw that.
It was random. It was the only place that was open during the pandemic.
Are you originally from Ghana?
No.
What?
I am not.
Trini.
I am Trinidadian.
What?
Which is pretty much the same thing.
So I was just like, Trini's there?
Yeah.
Ghana.
It was very similar.
Yeah.
I felt very comfortable. I felt like I was in Trinidad. I felt like, you know, when I decided to stay long term, I was like, I feel like I'm in Trinidad. Like
You were there for what, 2 years? 2 or 3 years?
Yeah, back and forth.
Yeah.
But
Come
like
back in the summer.
Yeah, I went
Skip the winter.
I can't do winter anymore.
I don't blame you.
Winter scares me. But yeah, like, you know, it's just one of those things where it's like because of the way 2020 was for a lot of us.
Yeah.
I knew I couldn't survive winter here and not working. And, you know, I didn't want to have a nervous breakdown. I didn't want to be, you know, admitted into anything. So I just said, you know what, let me see if I can get out of here and like just be somewhere warm.
So did you have friends?
I would have went to
Ghana?
Trinidad, but the borders were closed. The prime minister was like, no.
Rightfully so.
Yeah.
Did you have friends in Ghana that?
Yeah. So I had met a friend of mine. I had met him. It's so weird. I met him on a flight going from London to San Francisco. We were going to Afrotech.
Yeah.
And you know, he mentioned to me he was Ghanaian, and you know, we just kind of kept in touch. And then I think I must have been ranting on social media, which I usually do. I was like, I can't. I don't know if I'm going to survive the winter. I can't do this. This pandemic is horrible. Blah blah blah. So he reached out to me and he was like, "Yo, I just moved my whole family to Ghana. The borders are open." And I was like, "Word?" And then another friend of mine was like, "Yeah, I've been living here for like, you know, blah blah blah, whatever." Mind you, they are Ghanaian.
Yeah.
But she was like, "Yeah, like everything's open.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like you wouldn't even think COVID was here." And I was like, "Are you sure?" She's like, "Yeah." So I obviously went online and I did my research, and like I think at the time Ghana had like 3 deaths.
Oh wow.
You know, and like the cases were really really low. And you know, I was like, "Yes, that's the ammunition I need to like convince my mom that I'm going to Ghana." So I basically I told her, I was like, "Listen, it's, you know, 3 deaths. The cases are low. I'm going." And it's crazy because I've actually had friends who've always told me about Ghana in December. And every time I've gone online to check the flights, I was like, I ain't going to Ghana in December.
You got to buy your ticket in like January.
But during that time,
it was cheap.
I found a $700 flight and I was like, okay, this is like the universe telling me something. So I'm going to go. So I booked my flight and I went. And then like a month, the plan was to only stay there for 2 months.
Yeah.
And then I was there for a month. And then my return flight got canceled. Oh, wow. And I was like, okay, well, I guess this is a sign to stay. And then that's when Trudeau started doing the whole hotel quarantine thing. You got to pay $3,000 to stay for 3 days. I was like,
about that.
I was like, nah, I'm good. And then I just kind of stayed and I stayed and I stayed illegally in the people them country, like just, you know, kept renewing and whatever. And then I was there for 9 months. And then finally the borders opened.
And you were working.
Yeah. And I was,
like,
and I was
how
working,
did you make those
DJing.
Connections? Like
it's not that hard. I guess it's not that hard in Ghana. When you go out, right?
Yeah.
And then, you know, I had to be fair, I had my social media. So whenever I would introduce myself to people and they would add me on IG, they were like,
they have like 20,000
exactly.
followers.
So they were like, "Oh, you DJ, and we're gonna do a," and they started creating events for me. They're like, "We're gonna do an all female hip hop night, and we're gonna do this, and we're gonna do that."
Yeah,
and I was like, "Cool." And like in Ghana, it's like, you know, that's their only source of like, you know, I don't want to say fun. There are other fun things to do in Ghana, but like nightlife is huge there.
Like the main.
So, you know, it wasn't that hard to like get myself in there as far as like working, but it was fun. It was a good time, like enjoyment.
So I gotta ask, like, what's your? So you've DJed around the world. What's your favorite city that you've DJed in so far?
Oh, that's a tough one. I enjoy DJing in Ghana. I enjoy DJing in Dubai. The States is fun.
Rich. That's all I hear. It's just rich.
Dubai?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Dubai, you got to be careful. I wanted to live there.
I know. Like, I saw you. I know you mentioned that.
Yeah, I thought about it.
Or Dubai. I'm like,
and then I was like, you know, I got to live within my means. And
come on.
You got to. And you got to. No.
Rich.
No. Dubai is a different place.
The L in your name stands for luxury.
Even the name of her company, Luxe.
See?
Luxe.
It's all manifestation, right? But reality is a different situation. Yeah, no, Dubai is it's a great place to go and party and experience. It's like I always say Dubai is what Vegas should have been. You know? And like everybody's just kind of trying to outdo each other on every level, whether it's architecture, whether it's luxury, whether it's whatever. It's like, you know, if you don't have the willpower, you will not you'll just spend your you'll spend your money on everything. Like, it's
but
like,
if you ain't got it, you ain't got it. What do you spend it?
That's a conversation for another podcast.
Okay. So I want to quickly shift gears and let's talk about that slow jam party.
Okay.
Because I think one of the great things that you've been able to do and keep your brand is creating different things like Luxe Life. And then now that slow jam party, I was actually at the first slow jam party in the basement revival, Valentine's Day. Was it 2021?
Yes. No, it was before pandemic. I think it was 2019.
Was it 2019? Okay.
Yes.
2019 in the basement. And I had a time. Like, my husband was like, what do you want to do for Valentine's Day? And I'm like, I actually kind of want to just go to dinner and I want to go to this party. And like, I was getting my life.
Good.
And you had, I think Hollywood was there.
Yeah,
they had the dancers.
Well, yeah.
And I'm like, this is such a great idea. To now, you've had like Ludacris just randomly pop up.
I was insane.
Performing.
Ludacris will forever be my my favorite person. Yeah. Like, he's just such a genuine guy. Period.
And like, I can never get tickets to the slow jam party because it comes out and it's sold out. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, it was like that, like real early in the game. Yeah.
But it always still sells out.
Yeah, it always does well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
don't be humble now. It always sells out.
It does.
And one of the things, so you are actually one of my mentors. I look at the things that you do and I people are always watching and I always want to mimic that. And one of the things I think you've done so well with that slow jam party is the team you have. Like, everyone on there, it just honestly just fits. Cause I've worked with Rebecca. I've worked with Marlon. They're amazing people. I've worked with Tim. The only person I kind of don't have that much of a relationship with is Jester.
Yeah.
Except for like on Twitter.
Yeah.
But like, love.
Yeah. Jester's amazing too. Yeah. Jester's like a genius. He's like,
he does like some of these transitions.
He's a madman.
The Money Long transition.
Right?
To Keith Sweat.
This man has merged soca and slow jams together.
Crazy.
My two favorite genres.
Crazy.
Okay.
But I think that team and what you guys have been able to build is amazing.
Yeah.
And like you said, you've done Detroit, Dubai, Bahamas.
Yeah. I think the beautiful thing about our team is that there's no egos. Nobody's trying to claim the party as their own.
Yeah.
I've also allowed people to, make that party their own
and
at the same time.
So well that when you're not here, it's still running like a well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
Which not a lot of people can do that. Like
you just have to, it's just a team. You have to have a good team.
Yeah.
You have to, put your trust in people. And, I mean, I don't get me wrong. Like, I still stress out when I'm away. Like, I'll, is this happening? Is this happening? Yeah. Like, are we on this? Are we on that? But at the same time, it's like everybody just kind of like does what they need to do for the greater good of the event.
Yeah. Because everyone believes in.
Yeah. And it's not about, like I said, it's not about egos. It's not about, I did this first or I did whatever. And it's not about taking advantage of a situation. It's really just about, you just want to put together a really good experience for the people that come out.
Amazing. So why was it important to you to put on the slow jam party? Why not like soca? Why was that? Why was that it?
I think for me, because R&B is like my first love.
Amen.
I love R&B. It's been through hell and back with me. It's just one of those genres that like, it's the epitome of who I am. Right. And, when I used to DJ clubs, like I used to DJ a club on King West called Low Key Lounge for like 3 years.
What? I remember Low Key.
Yeah. It's now lost and found.
Yeah. But very narrow place.
Yeah, very
like used to give me anxiety every time I walk in there.
Very small, very like underground. Yeah. And like back then trap music was heavy. I would spend 4 hours playing straight trap music. And and you would see the energy, like, obviously the guys come out, they're in their booths, they're Hennessy and whatever. And like, you're playing for that. Like, I remember one time a club owner said to me, yo, Lissa, every time you play, like our bar sales are like through the roof. And I'm like,
talk your shit.
That's crazy. Cause it's like, you're playing trap music. I guess they're more inclined to buy bottles. Anyways, to make a long story short, the energy was always like, it was that kind of energy. Like that energy is like, so you have to figure out a way to get people to come down from that. And so for me, whenever I knew that we were winding down, I would just always play R&B. I'd always play like slow jams. Right. And it would just literally, like, you could see people's like vibes just change. It's like the lights would come on. You'd see people dancing in the corner, or you'd see like a guy trying to get a girl's number. And I'm like, okay, this is the way you guys should be leaving the club, not trying to fight each other or trying to like, you know what I mean? Or trying to like,
I'm richer than you.
Yeah. It's like
pop the bottles.
So for me, it was like, there was like it was all different reasons, but like, I like to play it. I saw what it did as far as like calming people down. And so like, I just felt like, what would happen if we played that all night long?
A good time will happen. That is what.
So that's kind of, and I just wanted to hear certain slow jams on big speakers. It's different when it's like in your headphones or,
What's your favorite slow jam to hear on big speakers? Okay. Actually, top 3.
Oh man. Okay. It changes a lot. But definitely Whitney Houston. Okay. Which one? I Have Nothing. Another one, Mary J. Blige. Why am I drawing a blank? The Mary J. Blige one. Which one? Dun, dun, dun. I'm going down. Yes, I'm going down. Holy brain fart. And then the third would probably have to be, I know it gets played all the time, but there's something like super crazy melodic about this song, but Tevin Campbell's Can We Talk? There's something about it.
Oh my God, I was just thinking about
like, that. I know people hear it all the time, and they're like, they play it all the time.
It is a great song.
Yeah, but you just like listen to it melodically and listen to the like baby faces.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I've never been to a slow jam party.
You should come. What's wrong with you?
Nigerians will always want to.
I know, you guys always want enjoyment.
Hey. Turn up.
Yeah, no.
We'll come. Just listen. We want to go to Dubai.
The reason why he hasn't gone to Lagos yet.
I know, right? We tried to do one in, oh my God, funny story. I tried to do one in Ghana.
Yeah. It's too slow.
I know.
Auntie, what's
I'm playing R&B music. This girl comes up to me. She's like,
Wizkid?
She goes, please, can you play some Kiss Daniel?
Because Daniels has R&B songs too. No, R&B.
I know Wizkid has some sexy things, but they just
Wizkid's new thing is just sexy. It's
one thing about Africans, it's like y'all like what you like, and there's no change. There's no budging, and I totally respect that. Yeah. So I tried a thing, it didn't work. Cool.
But, I think you should try again. You should try again. I think it's needed. Everything doesn't have to be the same all the time.
I know, but like it's I don't know. I just feel like when you're in Africa, you listen to African music.
I think you just need to add more like of the slower
Afrobeats. Maybe we should just have you come on and do
I've been trying to get on
a slow jam.
This is why I've been trying to but.
Don't worry, we
got get a call. Fortunately, like you should listen to. There's a song by Banky W called "Low Key."
You didn't do
that song.
We need you. We need you on. No, don't tell me. I'll listen. I'll listen to the song.
We didn't book you out karaoke to J-Bag.
No, you be there. You be there.
So I wanted to ask you a question, right? Because you guys have worked together. So what's it like working with Revy?
Oh my God.
She's awesome. Easy to work with.
Okay.
Knows her
Thank you. I guess.
And is like, and I really appreciate what you're doing for your community and your culture. You know, it's crazy because prior to going to Ghana, half of the friends that I had, I didn't know they were Ghanaian.
Oh, really?
I didn't know they were Nigerian.
Oh, wow.
And it's like, you know, growing up, I used to hear stories where people were like, you know, everybody just kind of, it wasn't cool to be African. So we just said we were Jamaican. We just said we were from the Caribbean, right?
I grew up in the States. I remember in grade 6, someone prank calling me and saying, "It's your friend from the village. We used to run in the bushes." And I'm just like,
wow.
Bruh.
Yeah. So like now, fast forward to see you, you know, just being at the forefront and like doing curated events that are centralized on African culture. I mean, it's admirable.
Thank you.
And I know it's hard, but at the same time, I think it's just what's needed because of what a lot of you guys had to go through, hiding your identity, you know, in a place like this, you know, when you were growing up. Like now everybody can be open and free about where they're from.
Now everybody wants to sing yay.
Yeah.
But it's always fun working with you. I think 2 of my favorite parties we've been on, Everyday People.
Oh my God, yeah.
And
that was a time.
That was a good lineup.
Yeah, that was a time.
We should do that again. And Renaissance Groove.
Yeah. That was fun. You had Marley in your belly.
Yes, I did.
That was okay.
But I was there. I was there having a good time.
I know.
At one point I sat down.
That was the other thing too. I was like, look at this girl. She's like fully like pregnant. Like kudos to you, right? Because I mean, a lot of times, you know, especially in this industry, especially as female DJs, it's like we think that once we, you know,
I thought that.
Yeah.
I was worried about that. For the longest time, I didn't want people to know that I was pregnant. Because I'm like, oh, this is gonna
hinder my gigs or whatever. Yeah.
And all of that. But it's like after a while, like, why not? Like women go to work pregnant for 9 months.
I feel like Rihanna and Cardi B paved the way for working women to just be out, you know, and about. You know, if you have the energy and you have the strength, then do it.
What's like a crazy story you've had at a nightclub?
Oh man,
lots.
One that stands out.
Another tweet that she just recently tweeted.
What?
So I want to know the story behind it. She said, "I can never do another hip hop party."
Oh, okay, yeah. I need to clear the air about that because a lot of people thought that I was talking specifically about the party that I was DJing.
Which one?
So my boy Brandon does this amazing all you can drink party called Soul.
I want to go.
See, I was gonna call it Soul Fresh, Soul Clean. First come, first serve.
Yeah.
I was not talking about his party particularly. I was just talking about overall hip hop, the way hip hop parties have changed.
Right.
Yeah. Overall.
You don't want to rock.
I mean, you know what? In that, like, there was just so many different things happening in that moment. I was just like, it's not fun.
Yeah, soundscape has changed for a lot of us.
Yeah,
So
you know,
is it the music? Is it the crowd? Or
I think it's
just everything.
It's a combination of everything.
Yeah.
I'm getting older.
Yeah,
I don't
artists.
I don't relate.
Yeah.
You know, I know my worth and my value now, so I don't like to be called a bitch and a hoe and all that good stuff.
Wow.
So it's like, you know, there's a lot of things.
Mhm.
I don't, and I also don't consider myself a bad bitch. I'm not, you know, in that sense.
A boss.
Yeah, I don't consider myself a baddie or whatever, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just,
But you
I
are.
just don't consider myself.
Have you
that.
seen the fashions? Go on her Instagram.
Okay.
Did you see what was it? Beyonce's concert? Was it Renaissance or Usher? But that fit,
Ma'am, thank you. I appreciate it. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
like a baddie, you know what I mean?
I don't know what you mean.
I think.
Okay, I don't know how to explain.
You're bad. Like,
Fine. But I don't consider myself a baddie in the context of what these guys are talking about.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So I can't relate. You know, I overall I just can't. Those who can, great, enjoy it.
Yeah.
That's for you. So for me, it was just like, I just can't. I don't think I can do hip hop. Like it's funny because when I first started, I wasn't really, I'm probably gonna get whatever, but I wasn't really a big fan of dancehall. Right? So I'm a firm believer.
That's fair.
I'm a firm believer of don't play what you don't enjoy.
Yes.
Right? Like you can't play a good dance hall set if you don't enjoy the music because
Agreed.
you don't, you know? So for me, it's like, I don't enjoy hip hop anymore. So I don't think it would be fair for me to do solely hip hop parties.
Yeah. Unless it's like the older.
Unless it's like a pocket that like I am comfortable in. Like I can't do this. I can't do the Playboy Cardi.
Yeah. I don't even know the music. So don't call me.
The little Zoes and I don't know who.
The little Zoes.
And I think that's fair. I don't think that's anything for anyone to get offended about. It's fair. You like what you like. And
and it's weird because a lot of people were like, oh, we need to know why, and it's just like, I have my own personal preferences. It's not you know. And then it was also a combination of what I had ranted about earlier too, where it's like, you know, I still got people coming up to me, DJ booth mid set, asking me to play certain songs from artists that I've never heard before. And it's like, you know where I'm at. You know my IG. You know how to reach me. You knew for months or weeks where I was going to be at. Just send me an email. Yeah. Just be like, yo, my artist is going to be there.
I'd love for you guys. Opened up a floodgates.
Yeah, I'd love for you to play my song.
Now like, people are going to start emailing you requests.
No, but I'm just saying, like, there's a way to do it. Yeah. Don't be shoving your phone in my face while I'm trying to mix. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like, there was that. And then I had guys staring at me like, oh, you're not going to play a certain artist. And I'm just like, what you're not going to do is bully me into playing a certain song by a certain artist just because we live in a certain city. Yeah.
I don't like the one where it's like, I'm not the DJ, I'm just the MC. And then like, the DJ won't play the song and they start threatening both of us, right? It's like it happened like 3 weeks ago where like, all right, don't play it. We'll wait for you. I exited through the back.
What? Not we will wait for you.
I left through the back door,
That's crazy.
It's not that serious. Go home. Go in your car and listen to the song.
You have Apple Music, you have Spotify. Like, what?
It's off the handy, man.
I've never experienced that, and I don't have to experience that.
I don't need to feel bullied into like playing songs. Like, you know, another DJ will play it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Okay. My icebreaker. So one, since you're a DJ, you do events. What is your dream festival lineup? I need 3 headliners. And what would you call the festival?
Luxe Life.
Right? Always. Yes. Luxe Life Festival featuring, I mean, Beyonce.
Avi. That's the whole budget. But
I know. It would have to be Beyonce, Usher, because like he's like
Avi.
the most amazing performer. And wild card, Victoria Monet. Oh shoot! No, wait.
I would go to that.
It's,
Okay.
it's either Victoria
You can
Monet.
have one more. You can have one more because that's a
Victoria
great,
Monet and Tiana Taylor. Yeah.
That performance.
I just love performers. I love people who can perform.
Yes.
And I want a good show.
Yeah.
Like I love all these guys who are coming out, like, who haven't like performed in like 15 years and like doing like,
like
but like I want to see a good show with like dancing. And
like
boom, cat, cat.
People think I'm joking when I say I have a Beyonce savings account, but like when she comes,
listen,
I'm going.
I've put Blue Ivy through the best Montessori school.
Because she's just gonna give you a show.
Yeah,
she's gonna give you a show,
and she deserves all the coins.
And Usher too. I'm gonna go see Usher in September.
In Vegas?
No, he's coming here.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
And that's gonna be my first time, and I can't.
You're gonna cry.
I know I'm gonna cry because Usher.
Yeah, I saw Usher in Vegas. That was like.
I wanted to. That was supposed to be my baby moon.
Aww.
But by the time I did the budget, I was just like, you know what?
The
let me just go to
budget
Jamaica. Like, can't do that for 2 days. Like,
I know. So worth it. But you're gonna have a time.
I can't.
Yeah.
Speaking of Usher, what's your top 3 favorite Usher songs? B-sides. B-side Usher songs.
Can you handle it?
Okay. Yes.
Oh my God. It's like such a guilty pleasure of mine. U-turn?
Okay.
Do you remember that song?
No, I don't.
Hey ladies, hey fellas.
No. That's a good B-side then.
Okay, anyways. I hate it, but I love it. Good Old Ghetto.
Okay.
I hated that song for the longest time, and then I was like, I listened to it one day, and I was like, okay.
I kind of like it.
It's about yeah. B-sides, yeah.
Can You Handle It will have to be one of my favorites too. And Love You Gently.
Aww.
I've been tweeting at Usher, please perform Love You Gently.
Just for you.
Just for me.
Aww.
I will, like,
if he does.
Yeah.
I mean.
And also What Happened to You.
Oh my God,
song.
yeah. Wow.
It's a great song.
Usher's got some tunes though.
Yeah. That's why I'm like, they try to compare him to that other kid, and I'm like, okay, slow down.
Wait, what are they?
We're not gonna do this.
We're not gonna do it.
We're
But
not gonna do this. We're not
the other guy they try
to
to compare him to, I'm like,
not gonna do.
they're not on the same level. The other guy that they're always trying to.
What
say.
other guy? I'm like, I don't remember. I'm old. What other guy?
The light skinned one.
I think they're 2 different generations.
That starts
Chris
with
Brown.
C.
Yeah.
They compare Usher to Chris Brown.
It's a big Twitter debate, and I'm just like, they're two different generations.
They're 2 different generations.
2 different
It's not even a
generations. 2
competition.
completely different artists. I feel like Chris Brown is the Usher of that generation.
Yeah. I guess. Yeah.
No?
Usher's
Well, like Chris Brown is a Chris Brown of his generation.
Yeah,
Usher's Usher.
yeah.
Usher, yeah, exactly.
It's just-
exactly.
different lanes.
Different.
Different lanes.
So weird.
different
Oh, we're
lanes.
always trying to compare people. Why?
One more icebreaker. Fun one was your friend. You want to ask that, Dre?
Oh, sure, I can do that, man. Yeah, that's my department. Your friend calls you on a rainy day, says, "Hey, I just broke up," and you being the DJ, you only know how to talk to music. What song are you sending to them?
Oh, see, I'm a context person. I need to know how they broke up.
He cheated.
Oh no! Let's not do this to man. Let's not do this to man.
I mean,
being the only man on this podcast, we're not gonna do this to man.
it's not usually okay.
She was just over him, I guess.
Yeah,
They just grew apart.
Yeah, just grew apart. Things weren't working.
He didn't want to pop the question.
What song would I choose for this person? Ooh. The first song that comes to mind is "We Can't Be Friends."
Ooh.
By RL and
To
Deborah
just
Cox.
act like we never were. Ooh.
Yeah,
A jam.
Okay,
that's it.
A jam.
I love that.
We
I
can't
love
be
that.
friends.
Take that.
Okay, I think we're going to end it there.
Thank you, guys. This was fun.
Thank you. Oh my God.
I was just starstruck, man. So
thank you for doing this. You know, we have a little gift for you,
which is part of the show.
Yeah, it's part of the show. I believe in giving people their flowers, and you, like I said, you are the blueprint. You have been doing this forever and doing it so great, and to even like watch you and also kind of become your colleague and get to work besides you. Aww. And all the amazing things you do. So we just wanted to give you your flowers.
Oh, wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening. We're giving real flowers, by the way.
I know, my gosh.
Yeah.
Roses.
And just say that we appreciate you. And even as someone who attends your party, I appreciate the amazing things you do and effort you put into the party. It's not just you're not just going to the party and you're just dancing. There's an experience. You have the pajama party where you have the pillows. Like you guys have there's a full production going on. It's
you gotta come.
It's not a regular thing. And you might have like someone like Ludacris pop up. Like she's been doing this. She's been doing this.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So thank you so much for being the first guest
of the B-Sides podcast.
Hey.
Yeah. Oh, and I wanted to give another flower out to my friend here he's been pushing me to do this podcast for the past 2 years. And he's been booked and busy.
I love it.
There's this guy called Ayo Wizkid Balogun. And he once said, I've been rocking every show. I've been killing every party. And that is what, every Afrobeats party, Dre is on the flyer. Like he's doing it, weddings, booked and busy. I just want to say I'm proud of you. He just shut down Scotia Arena.
Hey.
Like, I just want to say I'm proud of you and I appreciate you. I was having a conversation with someone and they were just like, yo, Dre, like I just put him on the flyer, which I don't condone. It's like, I could put him on the flyer and he'd just be cool and he'd do like, whatever, and we've collaborated many times, and I just wanted to say I appreciate you.
Aww.
So,
all right, well,
here you go, friend.
I got your flowers, but in the cart.
You don't have to give me flowers.
No, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I know Fudgy, you're behind this. Yeah, Fudgy, I know. Yes. Thank you so much, Robbie. God bless you.
Thank you guys for listening, and stay tuned for more. Lissa, do you want to give them your socials or anything?
Sure. Hey, Lissa Monet on everything.
Right.
Yay.
And make sure you check out that Slow Jam party.
Yes.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.